The lights were too bright for December, too cheerful, too artificial. Nothing in that room matched the weight in my chest when she stepped away from me as if I was something contagious. Her sequined dress caught the red and green lights as she shoved my hands aside and hissed, not even whispered, "Don't touch me." The music didn't pause, the room didn't freeze. Only I did. Her coworkers turned, some confused, some curious, most pretending not to see. She walked away, acting as if I'd ruined her night. A hand landed on my shoulder, light, pitying. Her coworker, the one with the soft voice and softer eyes. "Bad night?" he asked. I smiled. It felt foreign on my face, too calm for the way my lungs felt like they were collapsing. "No," I whispered. "Last one, actually." He didn't understand. Most people never do until it's over. I looked at my wife, laughing too freely, leaning too close to the man she swore was just a friend. The same man whose name had started appearing in her late-night phone glow. The same man who always texted her first every morning. Something inside me stilled. Not broke, not cracked, just stilled. And in that stillness I understood something. This wasn't a bad night. It was clarity. By morning, I'd be gone. And all that would remain was the note she'd pretend she never saw coming. I didn't follow her around the party. I didn't need to. I watched from the edges, the place people forget exists. She didn't look for me. She didn't even try. Her smile widened whenever he joked. Her hand brushed his arm with a familiarity that didn't belong to colleagues. Her body leaned toward him unconsciously, the kind of angle that comes from repetition, not accident. She didn't notice me watching. She never does. Not anymore. Funny how marriages don't end, they just slip, quietly, like a coat sliding off a chair. A few weeks earlier, I'd dismissed the signs. The sudden phone privacy, the late nights working, the laughter she saved for someone else. I told myself I was imagining it, that her distance was temporary, that she was tired, stressed, overwhelmed. But the body always tells the truth, and hers stopped turning toward me, stopped softening at my voice, stopped reaching for my hand, stopped existing in the same world as mine. The night she flinched when I touched her shoulder, I knew. But I didn't react, not then. Shock has a way of making silence feel like strategy. I let her live her lie for a little longer. I let her believe I was blind. She had no idea that every small betrayal had already carved out the shape of the truth in my mind. I just needed proof. Cold, undeniable, unavoidable. Evidence that would collapse her entire script. I started with her phone. Not breaking in, not hacking, just watching. Patterns reveal themselves if you let people feel comfortable. He texted her at 11:23 p.m. Her screen lit up while she slept beside me, face turned away, like she couldn't bear to dream in my direction. I memorized his number. 2 days later, I checked the photos on our shared cloud. She'd turned off autosync for her phone. She'd never done that. Another day, I found a receipt in her coat pocket. A dinner for two. A restaurant she once begged me to take her to someday. Apparently someday came, just not with me. Still, I waited. Rushing truth only distorts it. I ordered a report from a private investigator, not because I wanted a shock, but because I wanted confirmation. Quiet, professional, bloodless confirmation. While the world spun normally, I lived suspended between breaths. Driving to work, pretending to sleep, drinking coffee that tasted like resignation. Every day she became a little gentler with him, a little colder with me, and I became quieter, more observant, more certain. The investigator called at 3:14 p.m. His voice held the weight of something he'd rather not say. "It's her," he confirmed. "It's the man from her office." I didn't speak. Silence is sometimes the only acknowledgement truth deserves. I let him continue. Timestamps, dates, locations, everything aligned. Every detail sharpened the picture I'd already drawn. When he finished, I thanked him. calmly, politely, as if he'd just confirmed the weather. But inside, something shifted. Not rage, not heartbreak, just detachment. A quiet version of myself I'd been waiting to meet. The report arrived in a neat envelope. I placed it on the kitchen table, right beside the mug she used every morning. She walked in, humming, phone in hand. Still texting him, probably. When she saw the envelope, her humming stopped. She read the first page. Her breath caught. Her pupils shrank. Her throat tightened around a gasp she couldn't swallow. She whispered my name like it was a question. I didn't answer. Her hands trembled. Her eyes filled, finally, emotion. But for herself, not for me. I can explain. I cut her off with a single sentence. I already know. Nothing more, nothing dramatic, just truth, placed gently between us like a knife she hadn't expected to fall on. She cried, begged, collapsed inward. I didn't move. Emotion is a currency I no longer spent on her. I didn't yell, didn't ask why, didn't list the night she lied. I simply slid the envelope back toward her. "It's all yours," I said. She looked confused. "That's the last thing I'll ever give you." Her face cracked, hope collapsing into realization. "You're leaving?" she whispered. "I already have." I walked past her, calm, steady, as if she were just another room I'd outgrown. Behind me, she sobbed, painful, desperate, the sound of someone finally seeing consequences. But consequences aren't cruel, they're earned. I left before dawn. The sky was still dark, the kind of dark that feels honest. On the table, beside the empty envelope, I placed a single note. "You lost me long before you realized." I didn't wait for her to find it, didn't imagine her reaction, didn't need to. Some endings don't explode, they extinguish. I drove with the window cracked, letting the cold air wash the last of her from my lungs. For the first time in months, I breathed freely. And as the city faded behind me, I understood something simple and final. I hadn't left her. I'd just finally returned to myself.